What if I told you that your chances of living past 100 aren't just written in your DNA, but in the way you stood up this morning, or the pace at which you walked to the kitchen? Sounds simple, doesn't it? But for millions of people between the ages of 65 and 80, these small daily actions reveal something far bigger: how well you're aging and how far you might still go. You see, living a long, vibrant life isn't just about luck or genes. It's about how your body moves, how your brain responds, and how your spirit rises each day. And if you can still do some of the things we're going to talk about in this video, you're not just aging well. You're outperforming most people your age. In fact, research shows that certain physical and mental abilities after 65 are among the strongest predictors of longevity, stronger than cholesterol levels, weight, or even blood pressure. So today we're diving into a list of powerful signs, things you might not even think about, that quietly say, you're built for 100. And if you stick around until the end, the final sign may surprise you. It has nothing to do with muscles or memory, and yet it may be the single most important one of all. So take a breath, settle in, and let's find out just how strong, sharp, and extraordinary your body still is. Because your future might be even longer and brighter than you imagined. Sign 1: you can rise from a chair. Without using your hands, it's such a simple act. No spotlight, no applause, just you rising up from a chair smoothly, steadily, without pushing off with your hands. But here's the truth: this quiet moment speaks volumes, because if you're between 65 and 80 and can still get up from a chair without using your arms, you're not just mobile, you're showing signs of exceptional lower body strength, balance, and core control. Let me tell you about Eleanor, 76. She'd been visiting her daughter's home, sitting in the living room chatting over tea. At one point, she stood up to grab her book. No struggle, no wobble. Her granddaughter, watching nearby, said, "Grandma, you stand up so easily." Mom always makes a big grunt. Everyone laughed, but Eleanor just smiled. She hadn't thought much of it, but her doctor later told her that ability, don't take it for granted. Most of my patients your age can't do that anymore. Why does it matter so much? Because this one small movement is a predictor of independence and fall risk. Studies show that difficulty standing up from a chair without using your hands is one of the first red flags for mobility decline in older adults. And once the legs weaken, everything else gets harder. Walking stairs, even getting out of bed. But here's the good news. If you can still do this, it means your muscles are holding strong, your coordination is intact, your body still trusts itself, and even if it's gotten harder lately, you can rebuild it. Just like Eleanor did with small daily leg lifts, squats next to a chair, and heel raises. After a few weeks, she was rising even smoother and feeling more confident with every step. So the next time you get up from a chair, take a moment. If your hands stay on your lap and your body lifts with ease, that's not just strength. That's your future standing tall. Sign 2: you can walk at a brisk pace without feeling winded. Picture this. You're walking down the sidewalk, maybe headed to the market or just out for some fresh air. Your steps are steady, you're breathing calm. You're not racing anyone, but you're moving with purpose. If that sounds like you, let me be clear, you're doing better than most. Because the ability to walk briskly without needing to stop and catch your breath is one of the strongest indicators of longevity, more than most people realize. Let me introduce you to James, 72. Every morning, James walked his dog around the block. It wasn't a workout, just routine, but over time he noticed his neighbor, a few years younger, began to fall behind. One day, that same neighbor asked, "How do you walk so fast and never get tired?" James smiled. He didn't have a secret, he just never stopped walking. What James didn't know is that his pace said a lot about his heart health, lung strength, and circulation. Studies have consistently shown that walking speed in older adults is a powerful predictor of survival. Why? Because when you move with ease, your cardiovascular system is still thriving, your muscles are strong, your lungs deliver oxygen efficiently. Even more fascinating, fast walkers often have sharper brains. According to researchers at the Mayo Clinic, older adults who maintain a brisk walking pace tend to score higher on memory and cognitive function tests. So here's a quick check. The next time you walk, try this. Imagine you're about to miss an elevator. Pick up the pace for 10 to 15 feet. Can you do it without losing your breath? If yes, that's incredible news. And if not, that's okay too. Like James, you can improve your pace over time. Just walk a little farther, a little faster, a little more often, because every strong step forward doesn't just build stamina, it adds steps to your life. Sign 3, you can balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds. It sounds almost silly, doesn't it? Just one foot, 10 seconds, but if you can do it, really do it without wobbling or reaching for something to hold on to, you're ahead of most people your age. Why? Because balance is one of the first things the body begins to lose with age. And yet it's also one of the strongest indicators of how well your brain muscles and nerves are still working together. Let me tell you about Ruth, 78. She was in the kitchen one morning slipping on a sock while standing up. And suddenly she stumbled, not badly, but enough to realize she no longer felt steady doing something that used to be effortless. That moment changed everything. She wasn't hurt, but she was shaken, so she made a decision. Instead of avoiding the challenge, she trained for it. Every morning she stood near a countertop and practiced lifting one foot first for 5 seconds, then 7, then 10. A few weeks later, not only could Ruth balance again, she was walking more confidently, stepping into the bathtub without fear, and even going on light hikes with her daughter. Here's what most people don't realize. Balancing isn't just about your legs, it's your core, your vision, your inner ear, your reflexes, all syncing together like a finely tuned orchestra. And according to research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, older adults who could balance on one foot for 10 seconds had significantly lower risks of falls, hospitalization, and even mortality. Want to try it? Stand near a wall or chair. Lift one foot just a few inches off the ground. Count to 10 slowly. If you can do that without tipping or grabbing something, your body is still beautifully coordinated. If not, don't worry. Like Ruth, you can rebuild it with just minutes of practice each day. Because balance isn't just about standing still, it's about moving through life on your terms with strength, grace, and trust in every step. Sign 4, you can get down on the floor and back up without help. It's something we all used to do without thinking, sitting on the floor to play with the grandkids, reaching under the couch, kneeling down to tend to the garden. But for many people after 65, the floor becomes a place they fear, not because they can't get down, but because they're not sure they can get back up. If you're still able to lower yourself to the floor and rise again without needing someone's hand or pulling on furniture, that's not just mobility. That's independence. Let me tell you about Walter, 75. His grandson invited him to play a board game on the carpet. Walter smiled, but hesitated. He wasn't worried about losing the game. He was worried about how he'd get back up. That night, he made a quiet decision. I don't want to be afraid of the floor. So each morning, he began practicing simple transitions. Kneeling down, slowly shifting his weight, pushing himself back up, using only his legs and core. It took a few weeks, but one day at another family gathering, he sat on the floor with ease and got up without thinking twice. The room clapped, but it wasn't about the applause. It was about the freedom he reclaimed. Here's the science behind it. The ability to get up from the floor requires leg strength, joint flexibility, balance, and core coordinational signs that your body systems are still working in harmony. And according to a study in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology, people who can sit down and stand back up without support are more likely to live longer, healthier lives. So try this. Find a safe spot with a soft mat or rug. Slowly lower yourself to the ground. Pause. Then try getting back up without using your hands to pull or push. If you can do it, amazing. If not, don't feel discouraged. Like Walter, you can rebuild that skill with daily practice, because when you stay close to the ground, you stay close to the strength that keeps you free. Sign 5. You can carry a grocery bag without straining. It doesn't have to be heavy, just a bag filled with a few essentials: milk, apples, maybe a loaf of bread. If you can still carry it from the car to the kitchen without your arms shaking, your back aching, or needing to stop and rest, that's not just strength. That's a powerful sign that your muscles, joints, and cardiovascular system are all still working together in harmony. Let me introduce you to Barbara, 73. For years, she prided herself on doing it all, bringing in every grocery bag in one trip like a personal challenge. But recently, she noticed something small. Her grip wasn't as strong. Her arms felt tired faster. So instead of ignoring it, she got proactive. Each morning, she started doing light arm curls with soup cans, practiced grip squeezes with a tennis ball, and added a few gentle shoulder rolls to loosen tension. By the third week, she was carrying her groceries again, not just with strength, but with pride. Here's why this matters. Your ability to carry weight, especially functional weight like groceries, is one of the clearest signs of real-world strength. It doesn't just test your arms, it engages your back, your shoulders, your core, and even your mental confidence. In fact, medical studies show that grip strength alone is one of the strongest predictors of overall longevity in older adults. Why? Because if your hands and arms are still strong enough to carry what life hands you, it means your circulation is healthy, your muscle tone is preserved, and your nervous system is responsive. So next time you lift a grocery bag, take a quiet moment to notice how it feels. If you can carry it comfortably without strain or hesitation, you're not just staying strong, you're staying capable, independent, empowered. And that kind of strength, it's not built in a gym, it's built in everyday life, and it's one of the clearest signs you're aging with dignity and power. Sign 6, you can climb a flight of stairs without stopping. It's just a few steps, maybe 12, maybe 15, but those steps, they're a test of your heart, your lungs, your legs, your balance, and your willpower. If you're between 65 and 80 and you can still climb a full flight of stairs without stopping to catch your breath, that's not just a good sign. That's an extraordinary one. Let's talk about Gerald, 74. He never thought much about stairs, he just took them. Until one day at his granddaughter's school, he climbed 2 flights and had to stop at the top, hand on his chest. Breath shallow, he felt embarrassed. But instead of giving in, he turned that moment into motivation. He started walking more, climbing small staircases daily, strengthening his legs with light squats and focusing on breathing control. Within 2 months, he was back to climbing stairs, not just with ease, but with pride. Why is this so important? Because climbing stairs is like a mini stress test for your whole body. It requires cardiovascular health, a strong heart pumping steadily, respiratory efficiency, lungs that deliver oxygen where it's needed, muscular strength, legs, glutes, and core working in sync, and coordination, knowing where your next step is without second-guessing. Doctors often say if you can do stairs well, your body is aging well. And they're right. Research confirms that stair climbing ability is a strong predictor of heart health, mobility, and even cognitive clarity in later years. So here's your gentle challenge. The next time you see a staircase, don't automatically look for the elevator. Try the stairs mindfully, carefully. And if you reach the top without stopping or gasping, take a moment to celebrate, because that simple staircase just whispered something powerful. You're still going strong. Sign 7. You can clearly remember recent conversations and events. Have you ever surprised yourself by remembering the little things, what your neighbor told you yesterday, where you left your reading glasses, the punchline of a joke you heard last week? If so, you're doing better than you think, because if you're between 65 and 80 and can still remember names, details, appointments, and everyday moments, that's not just a sign of a sharp memory. It's a reflection of a brain that's still aging gracefully. Let me tell you about Doris, 79. Her daughter once said, "Mom, your memory is better than mine." Doris laughed, but she also knew it wasn't by accident. Every day she read a few pages from her favorite mystery novels. She played word games with her granddaughter. She chatted with friends over the phone, reminiscing about the past and planning for the future. To Doris, these were just joyful moments. But to her brain, they were exercise. You see, memory isn't just a mental file cabinet. It's a living, breathing reflection of how well your circulation neurons and focus are working. And scientists agree older adults who stay mentally and socially active tend to experience slower cognitive decline, sharper recall, and even better moods. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and rewire even in later life. So if you're still recalling recent conversations, remembering your grocery list, or finishing your thoughts without frustration, that's a big deal. That's your brain saying, "I'm still here, I'm still working, I'm still you." And if memory is something you've struggled with lately, don't give up. You can strengthen it, just like a muscle. Read more, talk more. Try a puzzle. Reconnect with old stories. Because when your memory stays clear, your world stays bright, connected, and deeply yours. Sign 8, you wake up, feeling rested and ready for the day. No alarm clock, no groaning as you sit up. Just a calm breath, open eyes, and that rare, beautiful feeling, "I'm ready." If you're between 65 and 80 and you still wake up feeling refreshed, alert, and steady, you are doing something that many people silently wish for. Let's talk about Marian age. 75. For a while, her mornings were foggy. She'd wake up tired even after 8 hours in bed. Coffee helped, but not enough. She felt like she was dragging her body through the day. Then her daughter gave her a suggestion. What if your nighttime habits are stealing your energy? So Marian made small changes. No screens after 8 p.m., a warm cup of chamomile, soft music, dim lights, and a sleep schedule she stuck to even on weekends, and within weeks, everything shifted. She was waking up clear-headed. No more fog, no more fatigue. Just calm, centered energy. That's not just rest, that's renewal. You see, sleep after 60 becomes more precious and more powerful than ever. It's the time when your heart slows, your brain heals, your immune system resets, and your body restores itself. According to research from Johns Hopkins, seniors who experience deep restorative sleep are more likely to maintain memory-stable moods and longer lifespans. So if you're waking up ready to greet the day, without needing a nap before lunch, that means your internal systems are still doing their job quietly and beautifully through the night. And if sleep has become a struggle for you lately, there's hope. Even simple shifts like a regular bedtime, calming rituals, and cutting caffeine after noon can work wonders. Because how you start your morning often determines how you live your life. And if you're still rising strong, still stepping into your day with clarity and strength, that, my friend, is a powerful sign that your body isn't just surviving, it's thriving. So now take a quiet moment. Think back to everything we've uncovered together today. Can you stand up from a chair without using your hands, walk briskly without losing your breath? Balance with grace, carry groceries with ease, climb stairs, remember details, rise from the floor, and most of all, wake up each day feeling strong and ready. If you answered yes to even a few of these, you're not just aging well. You're aging with power, with resilience, with purpose. You're defying what the world assumes about growing older. You're showing that strength doesn't end at 60, it evolves. And if some of these signs feel out of reach right now, don't worry. Because here's the truth no one tells you. It's never too late to start again. Muscle can be rebuilt. Memory can be sharpened, balance, strength, stamina, joy. They are all still within you. All it takes is a little daily effort and a belief that you're worth the investment because you are. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 8 signs spoke to you the most today? Drop it in the comments below. I read every one and your voice truly matters. If this video gave you hope, insight, or just made you feel seen, please give it a like. It helps others discover this message too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bells so you never miss a moment of wisdom, encouragement, and strength. This is Senior Wellness Advice, a place where aging is not feared, but celebrated. Until next time, take care of your body, trust your journey, and wake up every morning knowing this. You are still strong, you are still capable, and you have so much more life ahead.